All right, welcome to Introduction to Counseling. My name is Sean Yeager, and I am going to be the instructor for this term. This is the summer 2015 term, and just wanted to go over a couple things over with Blackboard and the course itself. But first, just wanted to take a few minutes and introduce myself. I've worked in the field of corrections for 10 years now. I started off in the prison system working as an AODA counselor for an Indiana prison and then transferred to an Illinois prison. I did that for a few years and then moved into a community-based role as a probation officer for a couple counties in Illinois. And my most recent position before moving to Wausau was as an intensive probation officer with Kane County. And I worked with two other intensive probation officers, and we monitored the street gang members that were placed on probation in the county. So a lot of dealings with street gang members and trying to help them along the right path. And so my wife and I, after we started having children, decided to move up to Wausau near her family because mine was kind of spread out everywhere, and found a great opportunity with Attic Correctional Services, and I was hired as the Wausau area supervisor, and that is the position I serve in today. And so I've been with Attic for a little over 3 years now. I enjoy the work I do, and I enjoy helping at-risk people, and hopefully we can gain some knowledge from each other in this course. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump in here. So I wanted to point out a couple things. You have, when you first log in, you're going to be taken to the announcements page. So if you look over to the far left-hand corner, there is a blue section here, and when you first log in, it'll take you to this page. This is where you'll find any major announcements that I have about the course, so you want to log in and check that periodically. I do send it out as an email blast as well, so if there's something important that involves everyone, then it'll be on this page, and then there'll usually be an email sent to you. Alright, if you navigate over to the course information section, you're watching the video now, and the welcome letter is here. Also, you want to pay attention to the syllabus. This is going to give you information about the course, how many points there are in the course, and how many points are possible for each learning plan. Alright, and then there's a lot of other valuable information here about the actual technical college and about the course in terms of outcomes that you should be able to demonstrate, to recognize, evaluate when you complete this course. The textbook, all right, Mark E. Young, Learning the Art of Helping. This is a 5th edition. All right, you can purchase that at the bookstore. All right, I do want to discuss just for a few minutes in terms of assignments, late assignments. Now, this is an online course. However, it is not self-paced. We move together as a class through the learning plans. All the learning plans will be available to you, and you're free to work a little bit ahead, but if I see you getting a little too far ahead, I'll send you an email or give you a call or somehow communicate with you to slow it down, because we do need to cover the material as a class. So but you are free to browse the other learning plans, so you kind of know what to expect and what the assignments will be. And we will move through this course together. Late assignments will not be accepted. All right, so down here we've got the learning plan open and close dates. The learning plan will open at midnight. Technically you'll have access to all of them, but starting at midnight on the dates recorded here, that's when the class as a whole will move into that learning plan. And then the learning plan closes at 11:59 of the date that's recorded here on the other side. So you want to make sure that you have your assignments in by the close dates, because otherwise they will not be accepted. Another issue that tends to come up is that once we get towards the end of the semester or the term, there's always a few people that have life issues that come up that prevent them from completing the course successfully, and they request extensions. I want to make it very clear that the only way that an extension will be granted is if you have completed and you've shown a great deal of work towards completing all of the assignments up to the point that you're requesting the extension. And I also expect there to be communication. If someone contacts me a week or a few days before the end of the term and is requesting an extension, it's going to be very difficult for me to find sympathy and extend that to you. So please, if there are extenuating circumstances that occur, I understand things happen that are out of the realm of control. I get that. But the expectation is that if it's going to affect your performance in the course, that you're in communication with me and we can work on a plan on helping you out. I am flexible, but I'm flexible with people that will communicate with me and that are showing an effort to complete all of the coursework. All right, enough said about that. Well, going on here, the discussion board grading rubric. Now, part of your required assignments that you'll be graded on will be the discussion board posts, and these are all worth 20 points each. So when you come over here, there's two ways you can access them, either through the learning plan section, which I'll go through here in a minute, or you can just go and click on the discussion board section. And you click on the learning plan, you create the thread, and then you can respond to the prompts. Now, the only drawback to accessing the discussion board from the blue section is that you don't have the prompt in front of you, so you probably need to do that through the learning plan so you have an idea of what the prompt is. Any emails that I receive regarding general questions about the course, I will usually copy and paste them into the Q&A section here. I'll email you and let you know that I've responded to your question in the Q&A section. I will keep it anonymous, but if I feel other learners can benefit from your question, then I will post them there so everyone can benefit from that. Alright, so let's go back to the grading rubric here. Alright, so in order to receive the full 20 points for the discussion boards, you need to follow this grading rubric. Okay, and this is something that I use. I take the average of each of these sections, and then that gives me the final score. So you need to create the initial post or your response to the prompt. You need to use one of the responses. Actually, in order to get the full 20 points, your initial post needs to address all the prompts. You need to use 2 or more of the techniques listed in this section. You need to reply to all responses to your initial post. So when you have peers that respond to your post, you need to be responding back. And then you need to be posting or responding 4 days throughout the week, the beginning and the middle and the end. So it's going to be difficult with these first few learning plans because they're only open for a few days due to the term length. So make sure that you're logging in is throughout that 2 or 3 day period that the learning plans are open. All right, so that's to get 20 points. Now, a lot of people tend to they will address all the parts of the prompt, but then they'll only use one response. They may miss a couple of people that respond to their posts, and then they only may respond 2 days during the week. So then I've got to take the average of those 4 sections, so 20, 15, 15, and 10, and then divide that by 4, and then that gives you your score. Alright, so if you have questions on this, please feel free to let me know. You can email me or call me, and I'll be happy to go through this with you again. But just know that that's how the discussion boards are graded. Alright, so you have a clear way of understanding of what the expectation is for obtaining the full 20 points for the discussion boards. All right, let's head back to the course information here. All right, and then I also do another video here that you can view about the discussion board grading rubric. It's a little more in depth than what I covered here. All right, grading, pretty self-explanatory. How many points are available per learning plan? So there's a total of 726 points. If you look at learning plans 3, 4C, 6, and 10, those have the largest amount of points, and that's because that's when the transcripts are due. And we'll go get into transcripts here in a minute. All right, learning plan open and close dates. Okay. So what you'll also need to know is your grades. So your grades will be posted in the My Grades section. My instructor, this is where my information should be. It's not there right now, and I will upload that as soon as I can. But it'll have my telephone number and my email address as well. All right, let's go to the learning plan section. All right, so like I mentioned, all learning plans will be available to you, but please stay with the class as we work through these. The other thing I want to mention too is that learning plans 1B and 2 will involve some group work, and so you'll be assigned a group. And so all you're going to do when you get to that learning plan is there's a link, and it'll take you directly to where you need to go. So group activity, you'll be assigned a group, and you just click on the link, and then you want to make sure that this is set up a little bit different. This will take you directly here. So, and then you're going to click on learning plan 1B, 2, and then you'll do a create a thread. All right. And these learning plans, like learning plan 3, for instance, is where you'll find your first transcript. All right, there'll be an explanation on that. And the video actually explains that as well. But if you have questions, again, feel free to let me know. The transcripts are pretty straightforward. You're going to find a family member, a peer, an acquaintance, a coworker, and you're going to audio record a session with them. And the session is just you demonstrating the skills that are needed for the grade. So you're going to allow the person to discuss whatever it is they want to talk about, and you're going to focus on being present with the client in that session, and you're going to focus on demonstrating the skills. So like for instance, the first transcript, you're going to be required to use door openers, minimal encouragers, which you'll read about in the text, some open and closed questions. And so you want to make sure that you're using that. You're going to introduce what HIPAA is, mandated reporting, and so all those will be required for the transcript. And then what you're going to do is take a 5-minute segment for the first transcript, and you're going to type out word for word what was said. And there's a format in the learning plan that you'll download, and you'll just type it in the boxes. And then that's what you're going to submit, along with a paragraph explaining how you felt the session went. So the learning plans will explain it in more detail. If you have questions, again, please ask. I always tell people, do not assume. If you assume, that can get you into trouble, so just ask. Alright, I think we've covered everything. There are a total of 13 learning plans for this course, and we have 9 weeks to complete them. So the first couple of learning plans are going to go by pretty quick here. I do try and spread out the ones that I know that you have that you have transcripts due on, so that you have some time to work on those. So I will see you in the learning plan section, and good luck.